All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Like I said, we have a lot to cover. I mean, we'll be talking about the Super Bowl, but mainly the Kendrick Lamar halftime performance and how it is further dividing America. Everyone and their mother has an opinion, and it seemed like a lot of them are more negative than positive. People cannot articulate, and it's like there's no middle ground with this performance. You either thought it was great or you thought it was ass. There was no in between. You know, people cannot really articulate how they thought about it. It was just, hey, Kendrick did not perform what I wanted him to, or if you were a certain demographic, then you were like, get this Negro off of my screen. Where is my country? Where is my rock and roll that we've been doing for decades? You know, it's not like they haven't gotten any rock and roll or country acts before. But you know, ever since Jay-Z came in, you know, he brought the niggas in there. Outside of Shakira and J Lo that one year, but you brought the niggas in here. Now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. So you don't like that. It's worst halftime show ever. We say this every year. Worst halftime show ever. Right? It was the worst. What up, Psych? Kendrick gets a massive troll. I love it. What up, Long? Like you said on Blue Sky, I'm glad I was a target audience. I know it felt great. It felt great, especially Black History Month. You know, Super Bowl falls on Black History Month every single year. So I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I felt heard. I felt seen. I loved the whole thing. You know, so it was cool for me. But you know, other people did not seem to enjoy it. He just said their best. Oh, yo, fuck them all and they mama. So let's let's get to it, yo. Um, so first, how I want to start this, because there are a lot of things to cover here. The first thing I want to go over is my opinion on the Super Bowl halftime show. So I want to get that out the way so you all know how I felt, and then we can move on to all of the narratives, the accolades, because Kendrick has broken some records here. He has more accolades here, and to get to other people's opinions on the Super Bowl that I want to highlight and speak about. So my thoughts on the halftime show. So first watch is always the one where you get the most outlandish reactions, right? The first watch is where you get the most outlandish reactions. So we started off with the GNX sample that we got a preview before Squabble Up. And it was a song, I think everybody says it's called Bodies. I loved it. I was like, oh, this is that song that was previewed. Okay. We're starting off with that. I still need that, by the way. I haven't seen a single person that has talked about this song. Not a single person. I'm like, did we just forget that like he just performed a new song and like nobody had anything to say? Everybody just wanted to slap. Nobody cared about the new song. I was like, I want this song. Like, when are we gonna get this song? So that's what I care about. I want to hear it. You know, I want to hear this song. So I appreciated that. You know, we started off with that. And then we immediately went into Squabble Up. I like Squabble Up. What I didn't like, and I still hold this opinion because I've watched the halftime show at least 2 more times. What I didn't like, but I can appreciate it in hindsight, but what I didn't like at first was the over censoring of the lyrics. I felt like if he wanted to perform this, I would have rather a song that didn't take that much censoring. Um, but again, in hindsight, the way that he was able to mute himself on the fly, because it wasn't a TV track. I want to say that off the bat. There was no TV track in the background. Like none. The only thing that we got that was a TV track from Kendrick was when he did Humble, and it's like, my left stroke just went viral. But that was it. So this was him all by himself. So if he messed up, you know, that was it. Like there was nothing in the background that was going to save him. So that was impressive in itself. But initially, I didn't like the overly censoring, because I was like, well, what's the point of you doing this song, right? If you're just gonna heavily censor yourself. So I didn't like that about Squabble Up, but I can still appreciate that the song was being performed. And then this kind of set the tone. And I want to go back because I forgot about Uncle Sam. Was that the surprise? Because I know they said that it was a surprise. It's a surprise coming in, and nobody knew what it was. Was Samuel L. Jackson the surprise here? Once I saw him, it was like, hey, it's your Uncle Sam. I was like, oh snap. I was like, we're about to get a blackety black ass halftime show. we're gonna get a blackety black halftime show. So as soon as he popped up, I was like, oh, I see what this is gonna be, right? Whatever 5 piece. I was like, yeah, I was like, this is wild. Like I can see where this is gonna go, right? I can see where this is gonna go with Uncle Sam. So I was like, yeah, we're about to get real black. We're about to get real political in here. So that was, that was setting the tone before he even performed anything, before he even said one word. So again, after Squabble Up, and then we get the dialogue again from Uncle Sam. He was like, it's too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, this is how the world would see Kendrick, performing these songs that aren't his hits, right? That aren't his hits, that aren't the safe songs to perform that everyone knows. They were like, it's too ghetto. Like, you're doing too much. He's like, do you know how to play the game? Tighten up. So like, okay, again, I didn't let that dialogue process the first watch, because again, we're just in the moment. So I didn't let that dialogue process, but the second watch, I understood it. What up, Green? So I understood it the second time that I watched it. So I was like, okay. So then he goes into Humble, right? Everybody knows about Humble, so people started cheering in. But at first, everybody was like, "Well, what is he doing?" Like they didn't really understand what Kendrick was doing. But once he performed Humble and then went into DNA, I was like, okay, like here goes the slaps, right? Here goes the slaps. Like I don't think that Kendrick would have been able to fully get away with the full GNX and diss track halftime show. I feel like he has to perform at least some of those, right? So he at least gave the fans and he gave America what they wanted, right? That was the whole point of the second act, right? That was the whole point of the second act. Let me get these slaps out of the way. Let me get the safe songs out of the way that people know. But something interesting happened. So after DNA, we got Euphoria. We got a snippet of Euphoria. I said, okay, this is interesting, because everybody was just expecting Not Like Us. I was not expecting any other diss track, but the fact that he did Euphoria was interesting. I like that. And also, again, further showed how in shape Kendrick is, because that man was kind of moving while he was doing Euphoria, right? And then the breath control was crazy, because again, a lot of people don't see that or appreciate it. But again, second, third listen, I was like, wait, I was like, he kind of going in, right? Like, yeah, like he was really running. So we did Euphoria, right? And then we went into Man in the Garden. If I'm remembering correctly, Man in the Garden was an interesting one. That's a deep cut. It's not one of my favorites. That's one I would skip. I'm not the biggest fan of Man in the Garden, but it's just not my, it's not my my general forte. But I appreciated the way that had the harmony in the background, had the Bay Area cats in the background, harmonizing, and they were getting it. And then he did the last line, the greatest of all time. So I appreciated it, but it wasn't something that I was expecting. I don't think that anybody expected him to do Man in the Garden. That's a deep cut on GNX. So but again, I understood it second, third watch. First watch, I was just like, not really my style, but I'm not mad at it, right? I'm not mad at anything he did, by the way, but just going over my initial thoughts, first watch, first reaction, I deserve it all. So it was cool. And then we get more dialogue from Uncle Sam. He's like, okay, like, I see you brought your boys, I see you brought your homeboys. And then he was like, deduct, he was like, reps, deduct one life. And again, I didn't really understand that, but somebody pointed out that the set was, circle, square, X, and triangle, right? They was like, oh yeah, he's playing the game, right? He's playing the game, or it could be a reference to Squid Game, either or. But if we're talking about Squid Game, then he was on the X, right? He was on the X, and the X is your right. So I was like, okay, now I understand it. But first watch, I didn't get it, right? First watch, I didn't get it. Oh, also, I want to go back when Kendrick started doing Euphoria or whatever, getting into it. I didn't notice in the crowd it said warning, wrong way. It said warning, wrong way. And I was like, oh, second watch. I was like, oh, warning, wrong way. So it's like, okay, you started doing what America wanted. You were being safe, and then you went right back to So essentially the nigga shit, right? You went back to being a nigga. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting right there. So okay. So then we get into X, and then it's like, doom, doom. First of all, the choreography and the cinematography was top notch, right? It was top notch. And again, a lot of people don't appreciate it, but it was top notch. What up, King? But it was just interesting. Like, you know, you had the dancers at every corner, like doom, 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 doom. Then it's like just panic, doom, 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 doom. And then Kendrick popped up, peekaboo. Like that was fire. I just put the boogers in my chain, peekaboo. Eddie points like a Kobe game. Like that was fire. That was fire. I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out to Emil Cutter for the follow. Thank you. So that was dope. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that part. And then he was done with that. And then we got the teaser, right? And then we got the teaser. He was like, hey ladies, I want to perform their favorite song. He was like, oh no, like for sure. It was like, but you know they go sue, right? Like that was, again, just it was making me mad though, because I was like, is he gonna do it right now? Is he gonna do it right now? Is he gonna do it right now? And I was like, oh no, he pump faking, right? He pump faking. I was like, oh my goodness, he had everybody on edge, right? He had everybody on edge, but that was so fire though. He was like, you know they go sue. Oh my god, bro. Drake stands, and Drake himself had to have been fuming, right? It's like, you playing with everybody, bro. You playing with everybody. You not gonna do it. I'm sure the Drake stands were like, no, you pussy. You pussy. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. So he had everybody in suspense, right? And he was like, you know what? He's like, you know what? Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. And then we get into Luther, which is one of my favorite songs of GNX. I love Luther so much, and we all knew that was gonna play. So we went into Luther, and then in comes SZA, which a lot of people, again, I ain't putting two and two together because I only saw the other X, but of course, you know, SZA is also one of Drake's exes, and I don't know why people want to mention SZA, because we already knew that she was going to be there. Like, duh. We already knew that she was going to be there. She already got announced, but they were like, oh, you got two Drake exes there. Oh my god, you being so petty, and they're so whack for taunting him. Shut up, bro. Get off Drake's dick. Like, the fact that people were mentioning that was so dumb, bro. Because just look at what Drake has been doing for years. For years. He's been talking about all his exes. He's been taunting his exes. I'm not trying to hear that, bro. I am not trying to hear that at all. But anyways, so Luther started, right? Here go Cammy. I'm gonna ignore you for now. Because we're not gonna get into it. So Luther played, and then SZA got to perform. And I know that some people was like, SZA live doesn't sound real good, but I thought she sounded good. The audio mixing overall was pretty bad, and I feel sorry for Kendrick. I hope that the audio engineer really got like a lashing because of the terrible mixing, because you could not hear Kendrick, but I could hear SZA. I don't know about y'all, but I could hear SZA. Okay. And it definitely wasn't a TV track. She was singing, right? And I like it. She looked good, man. So shout out to her. And then they went into All the Stars, which we knew they would do Luther and All the Stars, at least. And low key, you know, Kendrick was talking about Drake on All the Stars as well, which I got that pointed out like years later. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So he did that, right? What I thought and what I kind of hoped would happen was that SZA would have gotten a song by herself. I kind of wanted SZA to get a song by herself, because I'm like, if you're going to announce her like being with you, then I thought that she was going to get her own segment. That was the only thing that I kind of found weird. I don't know about y'all. I did want SZA to get her own small segment to at least go off, but it was fine. If they were going to announce SZA, what I wish would have happened was if they would have just brought her in as a surprise, because that was another thing that people were complaining about. People wanted more surprises. They wanted special guests. People wanted more of TDE to come. And while it would have been nice, we already technically had that on the pop out. At the pop out. So to do that again for the Super Bowl, again, you know, would have given them spotlight, a bigger spotlight than the pop out, but they already had that time. And it's not like they still not boys. It's not like, oh, Kendrick had not seen them or talked to anybody from TDE in forever. So it's like he just did a whole Juneteenth thing. So I wasn't upset that he didn't bring them out. But again, that was another thing that people was upset about. And it's not enough time, bro. Yeah. Again, so it's not enough time. So you hit the nail on the head. It's not enough time. So it's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that at all. So anyway, if we do all the stars. And then we get into the fun part. And then we get into the real fun part. So Uncle Sam comes back up and he's like, oh yeah, you almost at the finish line, you're doing real good. He's like, just don't he was like, oh man, it did. Here you go. There that thing. You really about to do it? What the yickers in the mule? Like, that thing. You really about to do it? Can't fake influence. There. It was, bro, the fact I was like, bro, here we go. I was like, he's not gonna back down now. Like you teased it the first time. But I'm like, this time you're really about to go in, right? This time you're really about to go in and do it. Like you have to be, bro. You have to do it. Say for like people Pacey wanted him to do the pop out again. Yeah, they did, King. They did. So we finally get into it, right? We finally play Not Like Us. I'm sure that everybody was fuming, bro. But the people who like the song, and I have to say this a million times, I get it. Yes, it is a Drake diss. Yes, he called him a PDF. But this song is more than the beef. It is past the beef. If you can accept that, I know that it's a diss track. I know he just won 5 Grammys for this song. But if you can accept that this is more than the beef, this particular song is more than the beef, then you could just let all that hate out your heart. Just understand and acknowledge it. That's all I'm saying. So again, the song plays. He does the first verse. Everybody is memeing the hell out of him, looking at the camera and smiling with that menacing smile, saying, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1." And then he certified lover boy, certified, like he didn't say it, and the Drake stands took that as a win. It was like, oh, he didn't say it. Yeah, they got you. But the damage was already done. He said his name. That's enough right there. If he didn't say his name and he didn't say PDF, okay, maybe you would have had something. But he said his name loud and clear with a menacing smile. So you just got to take that, bro. He did that on the national stage. So however you feel about it, it was a funny moment. I loved it. It was a funny moment. People were quiet at certain points. I understand. People were quiet at certain points because maybe you didn't know that song or whatever, but Not Like Us had the crowd jumping. It had the crowd jumping. So everybody was like, wop, 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 wop. Everybody was like, the whole stadium said a minor in unison. It was insane. It was insane, bro. I loved it. And then we finally do TV off, which was really a perfect ending, that makes perfect sense. We're all watching on the television, so why not do TV off as your closer? That it made perfect sense to me, and that was fire. That was another fire moment. Mustard running out, him getting that spotlight too. That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. He did the second verse and turn the TV off, and then he did the smile and did the remote, turned it off, and then it said game over. Just a fitting in. It was just a fitting in. So I mean, overall, was this the best Super Bowl halftime performance I have ever seen? No, not even close. Was this a terrible performance? Was I disappointed? No, I was not disappointed because 1, this was a black ass halftime show. 2, Kendrick at least did the one thing that I wanted him to, and that was to perform Not Like Us. That's all I wanted him to do. I didn't want him to be censored. I wanted him to get that off, and I want this to be the end of it. And like I said, I am sick and tired of all of this discourse between Kendrick and Drake. I'm way tired of it. So I want this to be the end. Unfortunately, I know it's not, because we have a tour coming up. So I know goddamn well that Not Like Us will be performed every single night that he has his tour. So after that, I want it to be over. I do not want, what up, Megas? I do not want anybody to continue to say that Kendrick is getting all these accolades, all these awards. He's back in the spotlight. He's only relevant because of another man. You know, I feel like that's terrible because Kendrick has already proved himself way before 2024 happened. Way before 2024 happened. So for people to diminish him because of this beef, it's really bad. You know, if it was your favorite artist, which Kendrick is not my favorite artist, he's not my favorite rapper, but he's definitely out of the big three. He's number one right now, without question. Until, you know, or unless Drake or J. Cole do something wild that could top 2024. But if someone said that about your favorite rapper and try to diminish them as to, oh, they're only relevant, or everybody only cares about them because of somebody else, then yeah, you'll feel some type of way. And you would feel some type of way. To what I find hilarious about his repeat saying what Drake did me can use all of me and us having a Drake when kid out. Yeah, for sure. So that's my overall opinion on the Super Bowl. It's not my favorite. It wasn't the best I've ever seen. Was it ass? Absolutely not. Was I entertained? Hell yeah, I was entertained. Hell yeah, I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained, especially after the second and third time that I watched it and you know and saw more gems and understood like the message he was trying to convey. He didn't go all the way out there, but he definitely did enough to have people talking. That's for sure. I enjoyed the Dre, Snoop, Kendrick, Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige performance a lot more. My favorite is absolutely Prince, for sure. You know, MJ is also up there as well, but I didn't see that live. I saw Prince live, so I was like, man, this is the most fire halftime show I've ever seen. But for people to just be like, this halftime show was ass because of the multitude of reasons, which I'll get to. It's just it's bad, man. It's bad. Again, people just cannot articulate themselves, and I wish it would stop. I honestly wish it would stop. I wish that people would be able to properly say why I did or did not like something. What up, preach? So and it just starts like an echo chamber, especially online. It starts an echo chamber, and it gets increasingly annoying just to see that over and over and over, and people not be able to tell, you know, properly, explain themselves properly as to why they don't like something. Because like for y'all to say this is ass is just it's so wrong. So let's get into some of the things that we saw, right? So initially a lot of people were saying that was ass because Kendrick did not perform all of the hits. This is probably the number one reason why I saw people say that they didn't like this halftime show, because he didn't perform all of his hits. One, I already said it before. He gave y'all it at the pop out. So for him to do it again, he probably just didn't want to. You know, he probably just didn't want to. Number two, let's get into this, because Dave Free was also at the helm of this whole production, right? And Dave Free said it wasn't about playing the hits. Now, this is coming directly from Dave Free. I mean, I don't know what else that y'all want, people. It's coming directly from Dave Free. So let's read this article. Kendrick Lamar's historic Super Bowl halftime show has been detailed by his longtime manager and creative partner, Dave Free. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal, the PG Lane co-founder detailed the creative process behind the electrifying performance, which featured cameos from SZA, Mustard, Samuel Jackson, Serena Williams. And I forgot about Serena Williams. I know I mentioned it before. I totally forgot about Serena. Serena crib walk. I was like, wait a minute, is that Serena? I asked my wife. I said, is that Serena? Like, we caught her for a minute. That was fire. I love that. I know that everybody was criticizing her too, saying that, you know, I can't believe that her husband let her go to Super Bowl to crip walk on the song about her ex. Whatever, bro. She was having fun, and again, she has every right to be petty. Because if Drake talked about her, then why can't she get her get back? I mean, she ain't gonna go in the booth and rap about it. So, you know, what other way can she get back at him? Especially because Kendrick had her in the song. Like he said a line about her song. Nigga better not speak about Serena. So why wouldn't he invite her? I don't see it being as a problem, but there were a bunch of think pieces about her too, man. A ton of think pieces about her. It was like, oh, I think Stephen A. Smith was saying something about like his her husband should divorce him. Like people were going to the extremes, bro. Extremes. Yeah, people be hella disrespecting Serena, bro. And it's tragic, bro. People be really disrespecting Serena. So yeah, I forgot to talk about that. But that's my thoughts about that, bro. So going back to this. So Dave Free said we wanted this performance to have a cinematic and theatrical element to it. We can confidently say that there is no Super Bowl performance that's quite like this one. Now you can, have your think pieces on that one. It's up for debate, but of course, Dave Free is going to say that there was no Super Bowl performance like this one. I would say cinematically, yeah, it's probably up there as one of the best. Cinematically, choreography you could probably put up there too, but I was saying, Beyonce, you usually can't beat her choreography. Her choreography is, tip top, and we already seen that when she did the Super Bowl before and when she did the halftime for Christmas. So, her choreography cannot be beat. But Kendrick's choreography was pretty good too. Free added that he and Kendrick prepared for this event by watching every single Super Bowl halftime performance, drawing particular inspiration from Beyonce, we just spoke about her, Prince, already spoke about him, and Michael Jackson shows. So this man looked at all the GOATs. They looked at all the GOATs, okay? Looked at all the GOATs and saw what they did during their Super Bowl halftime shows. The feel of it is Black America. What does Black America look like? And how to control the narrative of what it means to be Black in America versus what the world's perspective of that is. This is from Dave Free, okay? This is from Dave Free. The former TDE executive also addressed Dot's set list, which mainly featured Drake diss tracks and songs from his latest album, GNX. Dave Free said it wasn't about playing the hits. So, simple as that. So, Free additionally confirmed that it all began with a call from Jay-Z, who had helped organize the halftime show since 2020. He said he wasn't sure if Kendrick would be asked to perform at the game. He made an appearance during Dr. Dre's All-Star set just 3 years ago, and but it felt like the right time for us. Okay, so there I go. I mean, it came from Dave Free himself. So for anybody who was wondering why they didn't do all the hits, it wasn't about the hits. This was what they wanted to do with their creative process. They wanted to talk about the feel of Black America, what does Black America look like, and how to control the narrative of what it means to be Black in America versus what the world's perspective of that is. And I would say they did a great job because the white people were super upset. They were super upset. I don't think a lot of white people understood what they were watching, and rightfully so, because it ain't for y'all. It ain't for y'all. And people were trying to say, oh, you should do what's safe. You should do what's for everyone. Well, if you paid attention, again, everyone's first watch was their first reaction. But if you pay attention, go watch it again. Maybe you'll understand, or try to understand, or don't. Maybe you could just stay ignorant. It doesn't matter to me. But this was the message that they were trying to convey. And you gotta really look at it to understand it. And when I thought about it, when I watched it again, I was like, okay, I was entertained. I was entertained. This is for us. This is for us. So for you to be Black and be mad at it, that's tough. That says a lot about you than it does about us. That's all I'm gonna say. It says a lot about you than it does about us. So you can be mad about him not playing all the hits, but that wasn't the point of this set. Okay? It wasn't the point of this set. All right, let's move on. I want to point out again some interesting headlines, because people say every year that this is the worst halftime show ever, every year without question. Let's take a look at previous years, y'all. Can I get a refund? Beyonce's NFL halftime show leaves fans furious. Interesting. Okay, all right. Next, this was The Weeknd Super Bowl halftime show review. The Weeknd wasn't great, but it's not all his fault. Okay? All right. Next. Rihanna making the FCC work after Super Bowl viewers filed 103 complaints. Interesting. Okay? And Usher last year, Super Bowl 2024. Fans divided over Usher's boring halftime show. Does anyone in here think that Usher's halftime show was boring? I thought that it was great. I loved it. I think that Usher and all of his guests killed it. What are you saying that this halftime show was boring? But exactly what you said, Thriller Mike Jack. Do you see a pattern? Do you see a pattern? It ain't hard to tell. It ain't hard to tell. So, with that being said, I'm going to ignore everyone that said that the halftime show was boring. I'm going to ignore everyone that said that the halftime show was the worst halftime show that they've ever seen. Because apparently, the halftime shows are getting worse and worse and worse every single year. So, what do you enjoy? Apparently, nothing. So, why even watch a halftime show? You know what I used to do back in the day? When there were artists that I didn't enjoy, that I didn't care about, I went to go do something else. Or I changed the channel. It ain't that difficult. You don't have to watch a halftime show. No one has a gun to your head. You do not have an obligation to watch a halftime show if you do not like it or do not understand. You choose to do that, so you got to deal with it. Okay? You got to deal with it. I dealt with a lot of halftime shows that were not my demographic. Katy Perry, for example, Lady Gaga, for example. Like, I didn't watch, even though I kind of messed with Maroon 5, I didn't watch that one for real. Like, I just didn't care. Shakira and J-Lo, I didn't really watch that or care about it. Like, it's just certain things that I'm just like, whatever. It's there. They're performing. I can go do something else with my life. And then when the game comes back on at the second half, then I'll watch it. U2, another one. I don't care. Do I think that they're bad people? No. They're just not my typical listening experience. I don't listen to those artists. So why would I want to listen to them at halftime? You know, that makes sense to me. Apparently, I'm too logical for the world. If I don't already listen to an artist, I'm not going to watch a halftime show to see what they're talking about. Again, he's I agree with enough race of white people hating to say to hear our own people just liking it, agreeing with biggest is heartbreaking. Yeah, exactly. Say the least, bro. They missed the entire point. Exactly. White people love being uncomfortable and complaining about it. That's a good point as well. That's a good point. So, hey, and moving on from that. Next, let's get to academics, man. First of all, how did he survive the whole PDF allegation? How did he survive the grooming allegations? I don't know how he keeps doing it. His chat niggas are pretty relentless, bro. They're pretty relentless. I don't know how they keep doing this, but I missed this. I don't know how many people saw this, but I totally missed it. But apparently academics and maybe somebody else leaked the set for Kendrick Lamar. They leaked the set list. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. Not for a Super Bowl halftime set. Not for a Super Bowl halftime set. So academics leaked the set list and is like proud of it. He's bragging here about doing it. This is the most clown behavior I've ever seen. This is really the most clown behavior I have ever seen. Why would you do this? You all know why. Because when he said it too, because he was hoping that Kendrick would change the set list. He was hoping that he would change it. Why would you do that? There's only one reason. Because you are Drake's dick gobbler and you did not want him to perform Not Like Us. You did not want him to perform it. This is terrible, bro. Like, the lengths that this man will go to defend Drake is egregious. It's egregious. Yes, and he's self-snitching. What are we doing here, y'all? I would never admit this. Clout is this imaginary currency that everybody wants to have. And I really wish that we would stop this. I really wish that we would stop this. Clout is terrible. Does academics need any more clout? No. He's already famous. So why would you do this? Let's watch this just in case so you can see how crazy he sounds.
You niggas don't leak shit. Y'all niggas suck dick. I told y'all what's gonna happen. It fucking happened. You nigga like.
Again, why? Why? I told y'all it was going to happen and it happened. What do you get from this? I really would love to ask him, what do you get from this? What satisfaction do you get from doing this? What satisfaction?
Yo, nothing bigger than the chat, nigga. Let me tell you how I got that nigga Kendrick's fucking Super Bowl performance. A nigga who worked at the fucking arena is a chat nigga. Fuck who, niggas labels tight to me. And they pay me. But we gonna work it out. Can't beat the chat.
Crazy, bro. So he said somebody who worked at the arena was a chat nigga. And they leaked the set list to him. I hope that that person got paid. I hope they got paid and y'all didn't just give it up for free. I really hope so, bro. I really hope that that you got paid for giving this information. Because if you gave it for free, you a dumb nigga. I swear. I swear. I would get paid for this. Like, this is stupid. It's really stupid, bro.
Stop it. You heard what I'm saying? That's how I got it.
I took your card and that was it.
Get my Interscope. How'd you get it? The NFL hit me. Act, we gonna sue you. We'll do the. I told him, I said, I'm gonna call him Drake. No, I Drake my mans, but y'all gonna sue me? Because I don't sue. Actually, I would sue. I'm playing. Actually, I would.
What is he talking about? He said the NFL would sue him, but then he said I would sue. What? I really hope they do it, to be honest. What up, AB? I really hope they do it. I really hope somebody sue him. Because he needs to learn. Apparently, he ain't learned the first few times. He needs to learn. Like, threaten him with some legal action. Maybe he'll finally straighten up. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Anyway, they said they sent me an email this morning. They said don't mention the track list because apparently when we leaked it, they got paranoid. You know what I did? I went live on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. I went live on Twitter and I leaked that bitch.
Just stupid. He said he received an email. It said don't leak the track list, and he did it anyways. Like, bro. Oh, this is just my brain hurts, bro. Yeah, exactly. I self-snitched that I did it. I self-snitched that I did it. Like, what? They disliked it for totally different reason. The point of need to unite and not agree with racism. So yeah, it's called You Hate in 2015. Now, Cam, you were ahead of your curve, man. You were ahead of the times, for real.
I just want to show y'all. Any of y'all journalists who ever think y'all on my level, suck a dick. I'm going to end it like that because I don't fuck with none of y'all. I seen all y'all trying to kick my back in because y'all thought I was done. I'm going to keep leaking everything. I don't fuck with y'all. I don't fuck with Kendrick. I don't fuck with no artist. It's going to be like that for life. Just keep sucking dick and keep getting info from me.
So, like, academics at this point is like obsessed with being by himself and showing that he can stand on his own too. And now he's on a warpath and saying he doesn't mess with anybody and nobody is his friend because of, how everybody went after him with the latest allegations. So now he's like, oh, I'm going to keep getting this information. I don't need anybody. I'm just going to keep getting this information from my chat niggas and I'm going to keep leaking stuff and y'all get the stuff from me. So that's what he's on now. This is going to be your self-destruction act. I'm going to tell you right now. This is going to be your self-destruction. You're going to burn all those bridges and you're really going to think you're going to stand on your own and then somebody's going to show you. Like I said, you need to get threatened with legal action at this point because somebody needs to show you. Somebody needs to put belt to ass because you being reckless right now. You being extremely reckless. You can be by yourself. That's fine. You cannot fuck with anybody, but to be doing this stuff, bro, it's just extremely reckless behavior and for no reason at all. For no reason at all, bro. So it's terrible, bro. Self-snitching. He doesn't need to do this. Yeah, he did it anyways. He did. And it's unfortunate, Cammy. I wish that it was that easy. I wish that a lot of people can be ignored. Because they honestly don't deserve the spotlight. But it's easier said than done. Way easier said than done. I can ignore people pretty easily, but the rest of the world can't. The rest of the world can't. They are obsessed with just paying attention to people. So, man. It's great. Yeah, I do want to see that, Cammy. We gonna find out tomorrow. I can't wait for that part. We gonna see what happened tomorrow because he had a lot to say too. I was like, Joe, no, Joe, like really? He was very, very passionate about what he said. I was like, it looked real bad. All right. On to some funny stuff, man. Speaking of white folks, bro. Speaking of white folks, this thread was hilarious. This thread was hilarious. This person said, "I didn't understand what word of the halftime show. Did you? I need a translator." This this thread. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. The white people came out, bro. The white people came out. This person said it was awful. That's not music, in my opinion. It wasn't enjoyable. There was no beat, no rhythm at all. I couldn't understand most of what came out of his mouth. Awful. Uh, the people were asking for a country halftime show. They're still asking for that. They said, okay, this person said, I didn't think he was awful. I just couldn't understand the lyrics. Please, NFL, get somebody next year that appeals to more people. This is going back to what I was saying before. So I said, unfortunately, I had closed captions on. I wonder how the closed captions look. I don't know how the closed captions would look. Worst ever, bring rock or country back to the Super Bowl, please. Let's see. This person was with all these things, which I think is a buy. I don't know why people have all these numbers in there. They said, I actually like the red, white, and blue graphic choreography. I think it gave a message on how the game is unified. This sounds like a buy comment. I really did not understand his songs, but the beat was good. I'm just not a rap fan. I liked it better than some of the other past shows. I hope they go country. So like, again, at the end of the day, they want to go country. And this was another comment that I found extremely weird. And I promise you, white people, if you're ever in the chat, or if you ever see this video, if you ever come across this video, I want y'all to know something right now. We don't care if there is an all-white choir, if there is an all-white band, if there is an all-white whatever on the stage. We've seen this already, and just like Stephen A. Smith said, we don't care. Okay? So can we please stop saying, what if what if it was an all-white choir? What if, because they kept saying there were no white dancers that Kendrick had. Everybody was black. Black, 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 blackity, black, black, black. We don't care. Oh my goodness. I can promise you we do not care. We do not care. It can be like that. It was like that for a long time, and we never said anything because you know what? We got conditioned that this was just how it was going to go until Jay-Z came in. Okay? And it's not like we haven't had black halftime performers before anyway. So, yeah, can we please stop saying that? That's all I ask. Can we please stop saying that? Because black people do not care. It's the same argument that we had about Assassin's Creed. That said, what if a white person was in Egypt? You know, would you care? Or a white person was in Africa, as a main character, would you care? And I said, I don't care. And they're like, oh no, you lying. I honestly don't care. It doesn't affect us. The things that other races think affect us honestly don't, because we've dealt with it for so long. We've dealt with worse for so long. So we don't care, bro. We do not care. So please stop saying it. So yeah, so they were saying that this was a DEI halftime show. I'm like, were y'all saying that 3 years ago? Because again, outside of Eminem, everybody else was black during that halftime show. So I Usher. I mean, I saw a lot of black people. I don't know if any white people were there. Rihanna, I don't know if there were any white people. I would have to look back at those shows to see. But it was probably, if it was white people, it was probably majority black choreographers and dancers for Rihanna and for Usher. So why y'all saying this now, man? Why y'all saying this now? Like, so hush, bro. Hush. It's just so bad just seeing white people's like regurgitated responses. The worst halftime ever. It was so horrible. Heard some F-bombs, I think. But yeah, worst halftime show ever. Oh my goodness, bro. For what I hear, Kendrick calling out Drake and Diddy for being kid lovers. It was awful. It was like watching a musical version of the Squid Games. Like, so it's just, bro, people were just so upset, bro. People were so upset. I don't think I saw that one, Mike J. I don't think I saw that one. So yeah, that was a funny one. Y'all can read through that if y'all want to. All right, next. I found it funny. A lot of Optic and esports people, you know, they had their opinion. I saw Nate Shaw say the same thing. But Optic Hit said he should have done Good Kid, Mad City, Big Shot, Family Ties, Money Trees, and like that. Even N95, King Kunta. Like, it's a stadium, man. Perform your stadium song. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, man. I said he should have done this. He should have done that. I'm getting real tired of people telling him what he should have done. Let that man make his art how he wants to. Clearly, his message was more important than him playing all of his bops. And we already went over what Dave Free said. They weren't going to do what you wanted him to do. So that's that, man. Like, just shut up. He should have done this. It ain't for you, bro. Hitch, no disrespect, but they not like us, bro. They not like us. So stay over there. It's okay. Go watch the pop out if that's what you wanted. Go watch the pop out. Go to his concert. Go to his tour that he's coming up with. Maybe he'll have some more of those hits for you. Okay? But right now wasn't the time. And I need for people to understand that. Right now was not the time. He already did Jim. Exactly. Like, he wanted to do GNX. Kendrick already said that he worried about the present. He had worried about the present. If it wasn't for, I would honestly say, if it wasn't for like the overall theme of the halftime show, he probably wouldn't have done Humble and DNA. He probably wouldn't have done those. But again, that was the point of the act, you know, to do the safe song, what America wanted you to do. He probably would have just done all GNX cuts. So, you know, just to be lucky that they threw that in there, but they said it ain't about the hits, bro. It ain't about the hits. All right. Moving on. Another YN said something, going back to Playboy Max. This is one of the worst takes I've ever seen, bro. One of the worst takes I've ever seen.
Kendrick, you're way bigger than this. I'm gonna keep it so a buck. This is the Super Bowl. What? He probably gonna do this one time, bro. He way better than just a nigga who diss Drake. Honestly, he's way better than just a nigga who.
Which I agree. I do agree with that. He is way better than that, but he's angry because he didn't do his hits.
Who diss Drake? That should not be this nigga career. That should not be this. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? And I know niggas want to see Drake fall. And I know niggas want, you know what I'm saying? It's a great moment, A minor, but like, bro. Like, this nigga didn't, no money trees, no, we gonna be alright, bro. This nigga gonna play some classics, bro. Fuck, where you from? Where you from, my nigga?
Just go listen to his album or something. I don't know what to tell y'all. Honestly, I don't know what to tell. Go listen to his old albums. And if that's what you want to hear, go listen to his old albums. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to hear somebody, if I go to somebody's new tour, because I went to the damn tour. And that was fire. You know, that was during the Kung Fu Kenny days. That was a great tour. I would not want to see that again years from now if I paid for it. If I'm coming back to see you, I want to hear the new stuff. I'm sorry. I want to hear the new stuff. Am I wrong by saying that? Yeah, you could throw some old stuff in there. That's fine. And you know, you're always going to throw a couple songs in there that's going to be old, that everybody knows and everybody loves. But the whole point of these artists going on new tours and stuff is to do their new stuff, their new catalog. It's not to go and perform the old hits. If so, that would be a legacy tour. You know, you might as well just call it something else. You know, Kendrick Lamar's legacy tour. You know, doing all my old stuff, but that's not what we're here for. We're in the present. And I want to say something else. I have a feeling that this halftime performance was a preview of what we're going to get during the tour. Obviously, SZA's going to get her full set, right? But this is a preview. That's how I feel like this was a preview. This was a test to see, you know, what this was a little slice of what the tour is going to be. So why are we having this problem, this disconnect, this obsession with wanting to hear the old stuff? Okay? He said that's for yours though. Super Bowl is meant for the old class. And no, it's not. Nobody made that rule. I'm sorry. Nobody made that a rule. Yes, artists have done that, but let me tell you something. Usually, when an artist gets booked for a halftime show, at that point in their career, they are a legacy act. That's why you see the classics, because they don't have something new out now. Or it's too new and people won't know it and they want to go with what's safe. That is not a rule. I'm sorry. So Slim, I appreciate you. That is not a rule. This is something that y'all niggas made up. That is something that y'all made up. Okay? I heard Kid I can't perform his old stuff because it's owned by TDE. No, he did it already. He did it already. TDE and him are still cool. That's not true. Like, so again, y'all are making stuff up. Y'all are making stuff up. A lot of these artists that get booked for halftime shows, they're like decades in the game. So of course they're going to do their classics because that's all they have. They don't have something new out. So yes, it may seem like that, but that's not the case. When you get an artist that's in their prime, which we don't see too often at halftime shows, then you're going to get something like this. He's trying to promote it. He's trying to promote GNX, baby. I'm sorry, he got a tour coming up. I just said it. He got a tour coming up. This is the preview of what the tour is going to be. So, yeah, he going to do his new stuff. What are you talking about? Come on, man. Y'all got it. Y'all got to tighten up in here. Tighten up in my chat, bro. Tighten up in my chat. Let's continue.
Like, bro, he could have, bro, none of that, bro. And it was just like, I don't know, bro. That's just me personally. That's just me. They not like us. Come on. I'm going to give it a butt. The stadium erupt. It erupted. You feel me? Niggas was singing that A minor shit like a bitch. They was.
I saw another clip of him he was actually at the Super Bowl. He was mad. He was tight. I could tell. He didn't want to like it. He didn't want to like. He was like looking around. And that man said, he said he was texting Drake. He said he was texting Drake. I'm like, these OV hoes, bro. Y'all are like, it's really sad, bro. It's really sad. He didn't like it, bro. He didn't like it.
They was. But yeah, the halftime song, that shit wasn't it to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Did y'all fuck with it? That shit wasn't it to me. It wasn't it to me. I feel like he could have did his shit way better. And the wild shit I was gonna say was I genuinely think Cardi halftime show would have been better.
You're done. You're done. You're done after that. You're done. This is such a YN take. This is like the most YN take of all takes. Cardi. Who watched the Grammys? Who watched the Grammys? Who saw the weekend performance? Who saw the weekend performance at the Grammys? Did y'all see that nigga? Did y'all see Cardi walking around with his TV track in the back, not performing shit? Cardi is like the YN finesser, bro. That man finesse Aiden, got that money. Cardi don't be doing shit, bro. Cardi is lazy. And I don't know why the YNs worship him like he is Jesus. I'm sorry, bro. I like Cardi, but I don't like the way that Cardi be behaving. I do not like the way that Cardi be behaving. And y'all want to say Kendrick wasn't ready for the Super Bowl. Y'all want to say Kendrick doesn't have a catalog? What would Cardi perform? Y'all think Cardi got a catalog for the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. And y'all want to talk about what America knows? Y'all think the white people know about Kendrick? They for damn sure know about Cardi. Absolutely, they do not know about Cardi. Get out of here, bro. No. Yeah, this man is biased as hell, bro. Man, biased as hell. Like, what is he talking about, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, just stop it, bro.
Now, granted,
he was trolling.
Way more. But at the same time, bro, music about vibes, bro. Niggas was not vibing. I feel like Cardi could have had a vibe in that bitch.
That's all YN cares about. That's all they care about, the vibes, bro. I'm gonna catch a vibe, bro. I'm gonna catch a vibe. YNs, bro. I tell you. They are something else. I'm gonna catch a vibe. What are we? They be killing me, bro. They really be killing me. I can't believe that, bro. His man he said music is about vibes, man. I'm gonna catch a vibe. Like, all right, bro. Anywho. Anywho, let's move on, man. Let's move on. All right. So this part, I think they can be retweeted this one. That's how I saw it. This person said, "Hey Kendrick fans, it doesn't feel good when you think something is cool and everyone is bashing it and finding reasons to hate just cause your guy at the top, huh?" And I said, to be fair, Kendrick fans have received hate way before this halftime show. Take To Pimp a Butterfly and Mr. Morale, for example. It's not new hate. It's not new hate. Kendrick also got flack for, y'all remember when Mike Brown died, right? Y'all remember when Mike Brown died? Apparently Kendrick said something that people didn't like. Y'all remember the whole R. Kelly situation and him, threatening, which it wasn't directly him, it was Punch, but his label threatened to take their catalog off of Spotify because of how they were doing R. Kelly, right? Y'all remember that. So, and everybody associated that with Kendrick. Said that Kendrick did it. We found out it was Punch, but again, people still associated Kendrick with that. So, again, this isn't the first time that Kendrick has gotten hate. At some point in time, the general audience will turn on you. They will turn on you. Okay? So, I think that this is the time again where everybody's turning on Kendrick? No. Because of a halftime show? No, not at all. Not at all. You said you got your NBA All-Star credential. That's dope, bro. Appreciate it. That's love, man. That's love. They said Drake also has gotten hate in the past. Also, yes, Drake has been memed to death in the past. So, I mean, this is the worst that Drake has been. I will say that this is the worst that Drake has been, but Drake has gotten hate before. I mean, just take his last like 2-3 albums, for example. He's gotten hate. All artists get hate, but that's the point. That's the point, right? And again, I see what this person is trying to say, but this isn't the first time that Kendrick fans have received hate. And a lot of it, again, as I'm pointing out here, is unwarranted and outright just not true. Because if you're going to hate on Kendrick's halftime performance because he didn't perform the slaps, or because he was black, or because it was rap and you didn't like rap, are those fair takes? The only one I can sort of give, but again, we debunked, is because he didn't perform all the slaps. That's the only thing that I will accept here out of all the hate. But the other stuff is just yapping. Y'all just yapping. Y'all saying this ass just because, you have a bias, because you wanted to hear the slaps, because he was being too political, because he was black, because he's a nigga. Like, all that stuff is just fluff. All this stuff is just fluff. He said, I'm agreeing with him, but he's saying it because he's saying it in the now, though. He's saying it in the now, and because I know who this person is, he's comparing it to, you guessed it, Drake. Because he's comparing it to Drake. Like, you wouldn't say this if you weren't trying to compare and acting like, again, that this is the first time and, oh, now Kendrick fans gotta feel it. Like, no, this isn't the first time. And no, if this is your fave, of course it won't feel good. Of course it won't. It's just annoying, though. It's just very annoying. So, it is what it is, man. He said he didn't say it was the first time. Cammy, come on now. Cammy, come on now. We can read between the weeds. You wouldn't say this right now if you wasn't talking about, like, hey, it don't feel good. Like, yeah, of course, you say it in general, but come on now. In any case, whatever. Yes, I'm agreeing with him, but again, it ain't the first time. So, no. In general, no, it don't feel good. In general, no, I would imagine it don't feel good if that's your fave. I mean, we could just see you. We could just see how you be acting. You got into it with AB the other day. So I know you be down bad. Okay? I get it. It don't feel good. But the fact that you retweeted it, you know what you were doing. This ain't no general statement. You know exactly why you retweeted it. Don't play, Cammy. All right, next. This person said, I hope This is Jay-Z's last year picking halftime talent. He's using the platform to position / reward his faves at this point. Get him the fuck out of here. Whew. We can't win. We cannot win, bro. We cannot win as a people. We cannot win as a people. Why? When Jay-Z got in here, now we all of a sudden don't like him. Now we all of a sudden don't like his picks. Okay. Would you rather, let me pull this up again because I know we did this before. All right, let's go through the shows. All right. Let me see. 87, George Burns, Mickey Rooney. Okay, Grammy State University, USC, Chubby Checker and the Rockettes. Y'all want to see that? Elvis Presto South, not even sure what that is. Pete Fountain, Doug Kershaw, Irma Thomas, New Kids on the Block, Disney characters, Warren Moon, Gloria Estefan, Olympic figure skaters, Michael Jackson was fired, Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, The Judds, Pat LaBelle, you know, she dope. Indiana Jones, and Marion Ravenwood, Teddy Pendergrass was fire. Tony Bennett, that was kind of fire. Arturo Sandoval, all right, we go skip that one. Diana Ross was fire. The Blues Brothers, y'all want to see the Blues Brothers? Boyz II Men and Smokey Robinson was fire. Temptation was fire. That was a good one. Gloria Estefan again, but they had Stevie Wonder. Savion Glover, he goated. Phil Collins, I ain't gonna disrespect Phil Collins. Christina Aguilera, this one would pop. Enrique Iglesias, Aerosmith and NSYNC, you know, that was totally for the pop fans. Aerosmith and NSYNC, U2, you know, y'all just mentioned that in 2002, U2. Y'all want to see that again? Shania Twain and No Doubt, actually messed with No Doubt. Shania Twain is mad. Janet Jackson, y'all like this one? 04, I'll take that one. Janet Jackson, P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, he can kick rock. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Simpson, Paul McCartney, the Rolling Stones. Y'all want to see the Rolling Stones again? Prince was goated. We ain't gonna talk about that. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, 2009. Y'all want to go back to that one? The Who. Y'all want to go back to the what? Y'all want to go back to the Who? The Who? The Black Eyed Peas. I've seen people saying the Black Eyed Peas was the worst, and we want to talk about bad halftime shows. People talking about the Black Eyed Peas was the worst halftime show. Oh man. All right, this one was all right. We had Madonna, LMFAO, Cirque du Soleil, Nicki Minaj, MIA, CeeLo Green. That was a lot of people. Andy Lewis, Avion High School, Drumline, a whole bunch of drum lines there. Destiny Child. We ain't gonna talk about Beyonce, Destiny Child. Bruno Mars, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Bruno, and I mess with Red Hot Chili Peppers too. Katy Perry, I skipped this one, but they had Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, so I stay for Missy Elliott. I mess with listening to Missy Elliott and Lenny Kravitz, but not so much Katy Perry. That's just me. Coldplay. We had Beyonce, Bruno Mars. Like I said, when you add people, then it becomes not so bad. But like if these people just did it by itself, I would have been like extra skip. And again, no disrespect. I like some Coldplay songs, but again, just not. I mean, we talk about vibes. It ain't my vibe, right? It ain't my vibe. Lady Gaga, I already told you, I'll skip that one. Justin Timberlake got to do it again. It was okay. Maroon 5. I mean, he had Travis Scott, Big Boy. Like, they gave some Atlanta flavor to it, so I watched it. Shakira, Jennifer Lopez. They had Bad Bunny, J Balvin. My wife vibed to that. The Weeknd, I skipped that one. I ain't even watched that joint. Even though I like The Weeknd, but I skipped it. Dr. Dre, like I said, I love that one. But like I said, once we get to when Jay-Z stepped in, Maroon 5, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, The Weeknd, Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, Rihanna, Usher, and Kendrick again. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to go back to the older stuff. That's just me personally, man. That's just me personally. But as you can see, I mean, it was something kind of for everybody. I mean, they added other people in there with like the main artists to kind of like cater to everybody, but I don't know if they're going to continue to do that, and like who knows. But needless to say, I don't think that Jay-Z is doing a terrible job with his last 5 picks. You know, I don't think he did a terrible job. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7. And we had 7 now. I don't think he did a bad job. I mean, I enjoy Rihanna. I enjoyed the last 4 Super Bowl halftime performances. I thoroughly enjoyed. The last 4 I thoroughly enjoyed. So I said, I don't know about y'all. You know, it's subjective at the end of the day, but I'm like, why we acting like Jay-Z like had the worst picks ever, you know? Why do we think he had the worst picks? I don't get it. But as you can see with what I pointed out earlier with those headlines, apparently everyone thought like the last 3 Super Bowl, they said they were the worst ever. Usher, Kendrick, Rihanna, then they said Beyonce back in 2013 was bad. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't think he's doing a bad job. So like, why are we like so angry at him? I don't know. But I said this. You know the funny thing about comments like this is what the elite whites do and have been doing since forever. But now when Jay-Z gets in there, we somehow have a problem with it. I'm sorry, but I'll take rap over a legacy rock and pop back any day. I'm sorry. That's just me, man. I would. It's more my vibe. It's what I more relate to. So I'll take this for now. Y'all can go back to country and pop and rock and roll another time. I just won't watch it if I ain't messing with it. And it is what it is. You know, you don't have to appeal to me. I'm not asking the NFL every single year to appeal to me. So, you know, that's that. Elite whites. All right. So now some more accolades. So I saw this also caused a lot of controversy, like, oh, these numbers real, but they said that Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show became the most watched halftime show ever with 133.5 million viewers. One point more than Michael Jackson. 1 point more than Michael Jackson. So for all the people that had something to say about this halftime performance, it ended up getting the most views for the halftime show. Now, I seen people saying right after the halftime show, people turned it off. They lost like 2 point something million viewers. But that could have been a multitude of things. One, people probably didn't want to watch a game anymore because it wasn't a game. I mean, the Eagles were putting belt to ass on the Chiefs. So that could have been a reason. 2, maybe there were people who didn't want to watch the Super Bowl at all and simply came for Kendrick. You know, that's a thought. It was highly anticipated. So that's how I felt this year. I could care less about the Eagles and the Chiefs. I didn't really care about it. I like football, so like I watched it, but was I fully in tune? No. I just cared about when the halftime show came on. Honestly, I just wanted to see what Kendrick's going to do. And then after that, you know, it is what it is. So we're not going to just blame Kendrick for the lack of viewership and people really turned the TV off. I mean, if they did, they did, but I don't think it was because they were just upset with seeing Kendrick on the stage and was upset about the performance. I mean, if we're going to go off the numbers, I mean, I don't know what else we're going to say because there's another side that talks about numbers till they're blue in the face, but now when the numbers come and they favor somebody who they don't like, then now it's a problem. So I don't get it, man. Like I play it fair down the middle. If you hit records, you hit records. So this is what we have to go off of. Whether they fudge the numbers is another story, but this is what they said. So if he's the most watched halftime show right now, then clearly people watch. And it was something else. It was some more records. Kendrick Lamar has become the #1 most streamed rap artist on Spotify. So that happened now. His streams went up, which always happens after the Super Bowl. His streams went up like 300%. They usually go up pretty high. And GNX is on pace to sell 230,000 more units. So obviously the Super Bowl effect is there, but you know, they're going to continue to say the OVOs are going to continue to say that this was the Drake stimulus package. I don't know if Drake stands realize, and y'all really need to stop, because I think that the best thing that y'all can do at this point, if y'all really hate Kendrick and what he did and want to see him fail, what y'all should do is just shut up. I'm giving y'all like straight advice. He said this is a revisionist history about numbers convos. Revisionist history to whom? Is it revisionist history to me or to whoever you've been talking to on Twitter? Because I've said from the beginning, I don't care about numbers, but I do want to point out numbers because this has been y'all argument since forever. Y'all been talking about numbers. Drake had been talking about numbers, so y'all attach yourself to that. Y'all were clamoring to find out how much GNX was going to sell first week. Y'all were clamoring to see what was going to happen at the halftime performance. Like, I think y'all should just stop, because when Drake does something like Sue, guess what happened? Not like a shot back up in the charts. Not like a shot back up in the charts. So what y'all are doing is actually doing the opposite. It's actually doing the opposite effect. So I don't know what else to tell y'all. And Drake is obviously the main one. Drake needs to shut up as well and just make music, because every time he does something like this, something clownish, then everybody just goes back to, unless it's the bots, because y'all keep saying it's the bots, but unless it's the bots, y'all are driving up his numbers. So once again, if we're doing it, y'all think that's not me either. Well, I'm not talking about you, Cammy, clearly, unless the shoe fits. But all we've been talking about all of 2024 is Drake and Kendrick, and we're in 2025, only 2 months in, and we're still talking about Drake and Kendrick. And one person numbers has gone up even more, has skyrocketed, and one person has been at this point not been able to drop music on his label because he's suing the label. So now we're doing this roundabout way, going through Party, who's with Warner, and is now about to drop this project on Friday, which I'm actually excited to listen to, because I like Party. So I want to hear the album. I want to see what it's about. I'm not biased at all. I want to hear it. So I just want Drake to come out with some slaps. I'm going to say something that might be controversial, or y'all think I won't say, but I want Drake to get back on top. I honestly do. I want to see him come from adversity, which is going to be the first time ever that he's had to come from adversity. I want him to recover from this. I want him to show everyone that I can still make the slaps, that I am still the #1 rap artist in the world. I want him to come back. I want him to come back. You know, now it's going to be annoying with everybody saying, see, I told y'all my goat ain't dead, but I want to see him get back on top. I honestly do. Because I don't want this conversation to continue between these two. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be like this forever, and it's going to be unfortunate that anytime one artist does something, then the other artist is going to be mentioned. But I do want it to end at some point. I mean, we don't constantly like tie Jay-Z to Nas anymore. You know, any other beefs that happen, we don't constantly tie one person to the other. But for some reason, now they have a symbiotic relationship, and now one person can't do anything without the other person being talked about. I mean, it's very annoying. So again, I'm just pointing out the numbers. I'm not saying it to brag, because again, why would I brag? It had nothing to do with me. But I'm just saying what has happened and what continues to happen. The Super Bowl happened, regardless of how y'all felt about it personally. His numbers went up. And now he's breaking more records. And now he's the most streamed rap artist on Spotify. Now GNX is being sold more. And now he has the most watched Super Bowl ever. And on YouTube, somebody pointed out that Kendrick got more views in a day than Usher got last year for the halftime performance on YouTube. So again, people clearly are watching, you know. But if it's the bots, it's the bots. I don't know what else to say, because that has been the argument for the longest, that the bots shot up the numbers, and these aren't real. These aren't organic. So you said I mentioned on Twitter you want to apologize for Ghostfeet because that's your Twitter account. You meant no disrespect. You just curious about the. Oh no, it's all good. It's all good, Captain. It's all good, Captain. So yeah. It's all good. You probably didn't see it because I asked, but yeah. So that's that, man. That's all I have to say about this. I think I said a lot, and we're gonna move on to just one snippet